a few tears in my eyes after this one, y'all. It was a little bit of a tearjerker. SCP-999 versus 035. This is a custom tale that was done by Dr. Cimmerian and SCP Illustrated. And guys, it's so good. It's really, really good. I think y'all really gonna enjoy this. Make sure to subscribe to SCP Illustrated. Subscribe to me if you enjoy reactions, and let's do this.
The man wearing the mask limped his way down the corridor following the exit signs. The corrosive fluids eating away at his flesh were agonizing. He wanted to stop, but a voice in his head commanded him forwards. They reached a locked door. Something forced his hand up to the mask. His skin bubbled as he collected fresh acid in his palm before spreading it across the ID card panel. A few sparks and the potent smell of burning plastic and metal, and the door swung open.
Can you imagine?
What greeted him was simply another storage closet. The dim light of the corridor failed to fully illuminate the room, but the man with the mask looked briefly for something that could help him with the thing controlling him. He saw a wooden cleaning brush and a mop handle. Maybe he could use those to pry the
pry it off.
The dying man lurched away from the storage closet back into the hallway.
All submit eventually. You will too.
So it takes a while for this effect to happen.
From the observation booth, a frustrated Dr. Stanford watched as SCP-035 took D-2934 further through the mocked-up containment site. So far, their experiment was confirming his suspicions. The documentation on SCP-035 was wrong. It suggested immediate brain death, which was only correct in most cases. Strong-willed victims had the ability to slow down the process.
That's really cool.
Inevitably, though, SCP-035 always wins the battle of the wills.
Sooner or later.
He took a sip of tea. Sadly, this cup was inferior compared to his old favourite one. The old one had been destroyed during that incident with SCP-096.
Ugh.
A shame. What a thrilling and incredible experience that had all been. Not many could say they had died and come back. Less still could say they survived an attack from SCP-096. Dr. Stanford pressed the intercom button in front of him.
Begin stage 2.
The man found the will to walk a different way, and the voices began screaming in his head again.
Wow.
Wrong way, puppet. Follow the signs. Do as I command, and your suffering will end sooner.
The visuals are awesome, man.
D-2934 felt acid beginning to run over his teeth and screamed as he felt his gums beginning to liquefy.
Oh my god.
As I command.
The man buckled and begrudgingly turned to head back towards the previous corridor. Not one more turn and 2 locked doors later, the pair entered a testing room of sorts. High concrete walls topped with bright lights and cameras.
Leave this place. Now, puppet.
A box descended from the ceiling, and from within, a gelatinous orange mass rolled out over the top. It pulsated on the ground, swaying from side to side, looking at the pair before slowly approaching them. D-2934 stretched out his scarred, burned hand towards the creature.
No, do not touch it, puppet.
What's gonna happen?
D-2934 winced as more acid began to strip the flesh from his chest. The gelatinous mass extended a pseudopod, touched D-2934, and everything turned black.
Okay.
D-2934 awoke on the floor. The mask was still on his face, but the orange creature had covered him from head to foot.
Wow.
The mask included. He tried to move, but it was impossible.
Okay.
The agony was gone. He felt no pain. In fact, he felt happy and at peace.
Sure.
Excruciating pain suddenly riddled his body again, and he felt fresh acid washing down his throat, stripping the flesh from his esophagus.
God!
He is mine. Release him.
He felt the cool slime begin to slide over his skeletonized chin. It was slowly prying the mask off of his face. As his skin ripped, the slime quickly covered the tears, softening the pain. The voices in his head were still there, demanding his compliance, threatening pain and suffering, but they were beginning to fade.
Wow.
D-2934 forced a hand up and threw the mass, grabbed the mask, and ripped it from him.
He survived
The creature quickly covered his destroyed face. D-2934 dropped the mask to the floor as he began to go into shock. The creature held him tight, and his mind was filled with pleasant memories of his youth. His first kiss, his first love, his family, and his favorite foods.
This is so
There
touching.
was laughter, kind laughter, children's laughter, joy, a warmth he had known only rarely. And then there was nothing at all.
So he just put him at ease.
From the booth, Dr. Stanford watched the man suffer while SCP-999 tried to comfort him. Evidently, a strong-willed person could prevent a takeover from SCP-035. Of course, in this case, it did take the help of another anomaly to do so. Interesting. The man suddenly grew still. SCP-999 released him and began nuzzling at his arms, trying to awake him from his sleep. The man would not wake up. Bless its little soul, thought Dr. Stanford.
He can't heal him, but he can make him comfortable.
And then suddenly Dr. Stanford's pity turned to concern as he saw SCP-999 approaching SCP-035.
Containment teams, get in there now.
It was going to destroy it. It was going to pick it up and break it on the floor. It would smash it to powder. It felt hate for the first time, an emotion completely alien to it. That man wanted freedom. He wanted to live. He'd still had his mind, and in his final moment, he had heard him beg him to keep him alive, to give him the chance to say sorry to his wife and give his daughter all the love he could. This thing knew all that. It had been in his mind, and still it just wanted to control and torture and kill and discard. This thing was evil. There can only be one answer to that. SCP-999 wasn't sure if it could do this, but something had to stop this evil thing.
Got his daddy in him. Scarlet King.
Suddenly, boots blocked its path, and various candies began to fall around it. It happily scooped them up, letting the happiness bury the hatred. As it hoovered up M&Ms, it turned to see armored men carrying away the mask in a glass box. It was looking right at it, its face locked in a taunting smile.
Dang mask. I gotta say, guys, that was kind of emotional. When you think about 999 and his ability to just soothe and make people feel happiness, this vengeance that he felt that was alien doesn't seem realistic. I don't know how to explain it, but when you think about it, they talk about 999 being able to defeat his father, so he would have some sort of ability for justified vengeance to be able to do this. But how exactly would he have done it if he was able to destroy it? But the fact that he took away all that man's pain, it was so wholesome, yet it was sad because he couldn't help him, you know? All he could do is make him feel good. He's like a walking little blobby cute hospice. This one was really good though, guys. SCP Illustrated, make sure to subscribe. Subscribe to me if you enjoy our reactions, guys, and I'll see you next time.